Naruto 553. Naruto opens up with Rasengan Planet, a Rasengan with little Rasengans orbiting it. He's in full QB mode. It looks awesome. He is going for the second tsuchikage, which is trying to kill the third tsuchikage. And he has that dust release technique which destroys everything that's in there. So it's pretty nasty. So Naruto comes in, bam, Rasengan Planet, and he asks for help from Gaara, which is good because Itachi just warned him last time, hey, basically be a team player. If you're going to fight for other people, work with other people. Be part of a team. If you're going to be a loner, you're going to end up like Madara. So there's Gaara. He asks for your sand. So he throws out some sand, and he uses that in these QB arms that he has that he can manipulate pretty much at will. He pushes off some of the sand, and then he's able to use another QB arm to nail the second tsuchikage before he can use the dust release technique on anybody, on Naruto or on the third tsuchikage to destroy him. Because like I say, you get caught up in that thing and you have to dodge that one. You get caught in there, you're dead. So he is listening. He is now being a team player. And all three, Naruto, third tsuchikage, and Gaara, they go ahead and put away the second resurrected tsuchikage. And it's absolutely incredible. And of course the look of it is fantastic. Multiple exploding Rasengan, which is pretty sweet. So the third tsuchikage comes down and uses earth element sinking rock technique on the arms of the resurrected second tsuchikage. So he can't use his arms and get up. And Gaara, the third part of it, the 1, 2, 3 punch, Gaara comes down and uses his sand technique, the sand coffin thing, to draw him down and to destroy him. Or to bind him up. So, awesome. And this is just the opening. This is just the opening of the technique. You're getting all three of these characters working together. It's mentioned in this chapter that it's the first time that Naruto and Gaara have actually fought, I guess, on the same side at the same time. And awesome. I mean, this is multiple awesome chapters in a row. Like I say, this is just the beginning. And then you go with the second mizukage, who has a kind of illusion. It's a yin release spirit energy technique. It makes, I'm a little confused on it. It makes things appear to be there, or it creates things temporarily that are there, and so you're not sure if you're actually seeing him or if he's really this other thing, and nobody seems to be able to figure it out, and there's ninjas laying out all over the place. And it's pretty devastating. You don't know, if he's there or there. So then they show that part, and then you see the three that have just annihilated the second tsuchikage. You see, they come out, and Gaara, Naruto's, they have a little bit of an exchange there, and what ends up happening is they end up going in different directions. So Gaara and the third tsuchikage, they form one group, and they go left. And then Naruto by himself now goes right. So much for the teamwork aspect there, huh? He's going off on his own. So looks like Naruto might be going back into his old mode. And then, now this chapter has multiple parts to it. It isn't just action, it isn't just this and that. Then we get the next part where they're all fighting the third raikage, and they have a flashback of he died fighting 10,000 ninjas for 3 days or 3.5 days to protect his people so they could evacuate, they could get out. And it's pretty clear that they can see that this guy is pretty awesome. And then there's a discussion about, well, the only way we can get it is to get some awesome wind technique person. So they don't seem to have anyone that's at that level. And then next thing you know, bam, here's Naruto. He jumps out. Now they do the flashback, so you get a little bit of we get a short backstory, right? But it's a pretty cool backstory. And of course it absolutely perfectly ties into what's going on now. And there's a scene where when I summon Kabuto's like, well, when I summoned him, okay, the third raikage, I just told him to hold the line for time. And of course, when he came back, that's how he died. So he's like right back in it. He's, I guess, mentally, still holding the line so that his people could evacuate. Being manipulated to do a bad thing, from the good thing that he did. Well, a good thing, I guess, in perspective, definitely that he saved. So, perfect. So we get backstory, we get new abilities, we get everything. So Naruto jumps right down into the middle of it. It's all queued up, everything is here. Bam! He jumps in there, launches some crazy attack, yelling, "I can do it!" And that's the end that we see from this chapter on that. And then here we go. Right there, this chapter in and of itself was awesome. You get some quick battles that were very good. You get a little backstory. You get quite a bit already. And then what do? How do they finish it off? Oh boy, White Zetsu. Not happy. White Zetsu. Extremely not happy. Why? Because Sasuke has brought out a brand new, he's taken his bandages off, and he's brought out a brand new Susanoo, which looks pretty wild. And he's got his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan going on. And oh yeah, he's cutting his way out of where he was down there. And wow, Sasuke. How many chapters, months have people been waiting for Sasuke to come back, and then they finish off the chapter. So this is about, to use the word perfect, right? I mean, people use the word perfect a lot, right? So maybe I won't go that far, but I mean, this is an awesome chapter. I mean, this chapter, I reread this chapter a few times because you're getting a lot of different elements in one chapter. Instead of like having a chapter and say, okay, we're going to do a bunch of flashbacks, or okay, this chapter we're just going to do a bunch of fighting or whatever. And then there's a lot of the character development stuff that was before. You're seeing Naruto, finally listening, and then evidently not listening, So he's stubborn, so he's gonna have to keep making the same mistakes, I guess, until he finally gets it. Now, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna do a separate prediction scene because there's a ton of predictions I have on this one. There's actually quite a few because there's a lot of stuff that's opened up. But this, in my opinion, this is what Naruto fans look for. This kind of balance. And like I say, this was definitely a real chapter that you could read over and over again. And it was over. When the first time I read it, I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then I kept looking and going through, and then it was done. I mean, it felt like I just started and it was over. Because instead of reading, on the same topic, for a while, it was like, okay, this and that's cool, and this is pretty nice, and that's cool, and then it was done. I was like, whoa. So once again, awesome chapter, and we're in anticipation. And that's another thing about this. You get some answers, you get some fights, and then you get all this, like what's going to happen next week to hold your attention. So once again, Naruto fans, another awesome chapter.